Thank you very much for being here. My name is Charles Lewis. I live just down this street in the Colleen neighborhood, a few blocks away. My wife, I'll tell you a little bit about myself, why I decided to run, and some of the issues I'm most concerned about. I'm married. I'm 36 years old. My wife is the pastor of Piedmont Presbyterian Church in North Portland there, and we are expecting a baby girl here June 20th, so I'm very excited about that. And we are small business owners. We own the Portland Duck Tours, the amphibious bus that drives around town here. And then also I run Ethos Music Center. It's a nonprofit I founded about 10 years ago. It was right after graduate school. I came back to Portland, slept on a friend's couch, and started up Ethos just with my credit card. And today, 10 years later, we bring music education back to 2,200 kids every year. And I'm just really excited about that. We had a donor come by today who just gave us $75,000 for our program. So Miller Foundation on Cable Access, thank you very much. So now the exact moment I knew that I wanted to run for Portland City Council came about a year ago. It was tied in with Ethos Music Center. We had just purchased the old Masonic Temple next to Jefferson High School there, and we were going to turn it into this amazing regional music center for the kids of Portland. So we bought it, started going through the process of figuring out how much it was going to cost. It was going to cost $12 million to build this thing. And the only way we could do it is if the city helped us, if the city gave us some of the new markets tax credits, the business tax credits, energy tax credits, and worked with us to do it. So we went to the city, said, can you help us? They said, sure, sounds like a great idea. Show us you're serious, get $1 million in the bank, and then come back to us. So we did. It took us about a year, but we got $1 million cash money in the bank. We went back to the city, said, where do we sign? We're ready to go with this. They said, oh, your board is too community driven. You need to get some big hitters on board. Get them and come back. So we went out. We got 2 former governors, a former mayor, tons of business leaders. Went back and they said, you need $4 million. And it was at that point, 2.5 years later, I said, you're messing with us. And this is at the exact same time that they were diverting money to downtown, the Pearl District, to a project very similar to ours called the Armory Project downtown. Great project, but it is not for underserved people. It is not in an underserved part of town. And I think it's outrageous that they let a program like Ethos's go by the wayside when they're bent over backwards to make a project like the Armory happen in the Pearl District. So that's when I knew I was going to run. I asked my wife for permission. She said, absolutely yes. And then I talked to Commissioner Adams, whose seat was open. I said, I do not want to run against you, but I absolutely will. I am so upset about this. It's not what government should be about. Government should be about looking after those with the least in our society, not those with the most. So that's the point that I decided to run. The issues that I'm most concerned about are the ABCs of my campaign. Affordable housing. For the first time in modern history, we have a migration of families moving out of Portland. We have lost 11,000 kids in our schools because families cannot afford to live in Portland anymore. And I think it's outrageous that the city of Portland is funding $1 million condos in the South Waterfront when we have families that can't afford to live here. Back to basics. Our roads are in shambles. We've got $422 million deficit with our road maintenance fee. I live on a dirt road just a few blocks from here, and I think it's outrageous that we are funding projects in the Pearl District here. We are not taking care of everybody's basic needs here in Portland. The C is community involvement. As a Peace Corps volunteer after I attended the University of Portland, and I know what we can do as a community. I brought fresh drinking water back to villagers in the Congo, and I put forth this idea of a community corps where we as a community can tackle some of the biggest issues in our community. If it's volunteering in an after-school program like Ethos, if it's reading to kids, if it is cleaning graffiti off of old buildings, if it's mowing lawns at a school, we as a community are great and we can do anything. So I would encourage you to check out our website, charleslewis.com. We've got brochures in the back, and I'll be here all night, so I'd love to talk to you afterwards as well. So thank you very much.